So, Chaitanya, Keerti, thank you very much for accepting our invitation. We are very happy that you did, and we are very happy that you are with us. Okay.
I'm equally delighted to see face to face here, long distance.
Okay, so how did Osho come into your life and what happened next?
This is a very beautiful question because you are saying, how did Osho come into my life? And this is the right way because the master chooses the disciple. We are blind people as disciples, we can't choose the master. Though we are open to search, we are searching, but we don't know the real master. So real master has a way to reach out to the one who is seeking. And this is how he came into my life. I was not too much into religion or spirituality because I was not knowing what it is. The people who were going to temples, churches, gurudwaras and mosques, they were not attracting to me. They were not very attractive because I found hypocrisy, I found repulsive, something that did not appeal to me. So I was in a way closing myself, shutting my heart and not open for them. In this state of mind, suddenly one day I found one magazine. And in that Hindi magazine, there was an article, Is Man a Machine? By Acharya Rajneesh. That time Osho was known as Acharya Rajneesh. And there was a small photo also in the article, with the article. But this title attracted me, Is Man a Machine? So I started reading it. And it was very surprising. I saw a very new definition of religiousness. The way we live is very mechanical and robot-like. And what Osho was saying, that this way we remain slaves to other people. They say good things about us and we become very happy. And when they say bad things about us, we become very angry or annoyed. So other people have remote control and they become our masters. We are not our masters. An intelligent person, a spiritual person, or a religious person will not live this way. He will be the master of his own being and respond to these things, not instantly, but with intelligence, with awareness, and this will not be bad for him. This will not make him slave. He will remain free person. So this dawned on me that it makes sense. This is a new way of seeing, new way of explaining the religion, not the traditional way. So you're saying that it's like human beings are behaving like we press the button and the fan is on, or the light is on. So we become machines. When people say good things about us, we become very happy, delighted. When they say bad things about us, we become annoyed and angry. So the button remains in the hands of others. They press our buttons and make us move. So intelligent person will not live this way because this is the way of a reaction, not respond. Intelligent person responds, not reacts. Reaction is blind, reaction is mechanical, response is intelligent. So this caught me. He reached my heart, he entered my heart, and I got sold out to him.
just ask you, what year was it? Do you remember?
I think it was somewhere around 1969, 70.
Wow.
Because, yes. And I lived in a small town where Osho wouldn't come, I think. So, but like he would go to metro cities, Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, but not Panipat where I lived, which was 100 kilometers away from Delhi. So only way was something gets published in a newspaper and I read it, a weekly magazine and I read it. So I started searching more articles after that of this person.
Of this beautiful person.
Yes. So what happened that there was advertisement of one book in that popular weekly, which was called Beware of Socialism. It was in Hindi, Samajwad se Savdhan, Beware of Socialism. I say, oh, this person talking politics also. So I bought that book, but soon I realized after reading that this book is actually not in support of politics, but underlying message is that individuals are transformed, not society. And indirectly, after individuals are transformed, the society gets transformed. So do not go for the socialistic revolution or this or that. Transform yourself. So then I started asking for more books, and that time one of the most famous book was From Sex to Super Consciousness, around that time. So I got that book also. And in that book also there was no sex, but the transformation of sex energy. Like the coal becomes diamond in millions of years. The same way we have the sex energy. When we meditate, it becomes transformed into super consciousness. Osho was talking. So this intrigued me. I got more books. And one day I got the book, the last book that time was In Search of the Miraculous. That was also in Hindi. Later it got translated into English, but In Search of the Miraculous is the name, which is talks about 7 bodies, 7 chakras, the journey of Kundalini, etc. But this book, reading halfway through, not finishing the whole book, I decided that I go to him. And I had not completed my education, graduation. It was the final year of my graduation. I dropped it.
How old was
I was
you?
21. I was 21.
Okay.
And suddenly everything else became meaningless. Just meeting him became the most important thing for this 21-year-old boy, young man. And just I got it from Delhi to Bombay, my rail journey ticket, and I reached him. And that very day, September 4, 1971, afternoon, my sannyas happened in the very first meeting.
Wow.
Wow.
Tell us everything.
including the meaning of your name.
Oh, yes.
So
you met Osho and
that
felt
was the
in
very
love.
same day, though his secretary was not allowing me immediately, but I insisted that I would see him today. I don't need to read more books or listen to discourses. I have come and I would like to see him. She was saying, come to his discourses for 3-4 days more, and then I give you appointment. I said, no, there is no need to wait for 3-4 days. I have come prepared. And then I gave a small note to her to take it to Osho. And she took it. And within a minute, she came out and she says, he's calling you. Go and meet him.
What did you write at the note?
I write, Bhagwan, I have come from long distance, which was a long distance, coming from North India to West India and train journey, but there was no problem reaching you here. But now I'm sitting a few yards away from you and you are there and I'm here. I can't understand which walls are there between us. What kind of wall is between us? All I want to say that I have come and this is what I want to say. This is my expression. I don't know why I came, but I can say I have come. So
wow.
that message instantly was responded by Osho and says, send him in. That's it. And then she just says, go there, that's the room, yourself open the door and meet him. She did not take me there. She said, that's the room, go and meet him there.
Wow.
So I opened the door and he's there, he's sitting in his total majesty, grandeur. And he says, come on in, very softly, very graciously. And I felt so much around him, the aura and the grace. I couldn't even take it all in 1 second that time. So I felt there's something from within me went at his feet before I take few steps and surrendered. And just when he says, come on in, I went there and sat in front of him. And then he asked, what brought you here? And I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak. And he says, repeated 2-3 times. Then I said to myself within, say something. Now you have come, say something. And I told him, I have come to be with you. And that was, oh, here with me? He responded and started laughing. So you want to be initiated into sannyas? I said, whatever is the condition to be with you, I'm ready for that. Because that time there was not much understanding about sannyas. And I did not know about sannyas. I had simply read his books, philosophy books. That time I could understand that he's a visionary, he's a philosopher, that was my understanding. But when he says, oh, so you want to take sannyas, I said, whatever is the way to be around you, with you, I'm ready for that. And he then asked, do you have any responsibility at home? Or do you have anything to return to? I said, forget about home. I'm here with you. And he says, okay. So then he presses the intercom button and calls somebody, Madhu, bring mala. So she's Ma Anand Madhu was prominent sannyas in that time, who was the head of the neo-sannyas movement that time. Osho had given her position, the first woman, Ma Anand Madhu, as the head of the Indian chapter of Osho Neo-Sannyas. So she was president of, so she brought the mala in and then he took the mala from her. He says, I give you name Swami Chaitanya Keerti with that mala. And then he introduced me to her, that she is Ma Anand Madhu, and tomorrow her Kirtan group starting to travel around India to inform people about me, to spread my message, and you join this group. And after 2-3 weeks, I would be facilitating a camp in Mount Abu. There, hundreds of people will come and we would be meditating together. So today I take sannyas, tomorrow I'm on the road journey with sannyas group. I have not come prepared with the clothes. So some young boy who was of my age gave me his clothes. His name was Krishna Vedant. And he stayed in Bombay, and I took his clothes and joined the Kirtan group and went with the group.
Chaitanya, before we go into the Kirtan, please just tell us the meaning of your name.
The meaning of my name, Osho also explained in one of the discourses. He says, glory of consciousness.
Wow. Mm.
When I write my name, email address I gave you, oshoglory@gmail.com. So glory is the translation of the word Keerti. And Chaitanya is consciousness.
Mm.
So beautiful. So beautiful. My question about Osho's Kirtan group is to ask you to tell us about this.
Yes. Kirtan is basically is remembrance of God in human form. Certain names of Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, who have attained the highest peak of consciousness, the ultimate stage of consciousness, who are the Everest of consciousness. By singing their names, we remind ourselves that we too can attain to that state of consciousness. So the disciples, whenever they happened, whenever Buddha happened, whenever Krishna happened, to remind themselves that they also have to be on the same path, follow the same path. So they would sing and dance playfully and remind themselves. So that's what means the singing the glory of God. Kirtan means the singing the glory of godliness, which is ultimately you are yourself potentially, like the seed becomes the flower. So that is a Kirtan group. And most of us, the problem with the modern world is that we are too much into thinking, worrying, using our mind in everything. And we have lost that innocence of, and we forget, like, Osho used the word samma sati in the last word. Samma sati is right remembrance. So Kirtan originates from right remembrance, who you are and what they are and what is your connection with them. So chanting Kirtan of Buddha or Krishna or any guru like Rajneesh we did that time is to remind yourself. And that's what his mala also meant, that mala with locket that he gave us, that there may be 100 techniques, but this person's locket that you are wearing is a reminder that with any method you can reach to that same state of consciousness. So Osho is a reminder, an invitation to take us into that unknowable realm of consciousness. So we were singing, dancing. After each discourse those days in Bombay, he would say to people who were listening to his discourse intellectually, then to wipe out that influence of intellect, he would say, now stay for a few more minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and sing. And kirtans, follow the kirtan with sannyasis. So kirtan started that way.
And you sing or you play some instrument?
Yeah, I was in the kirtan group. I was having somebody was having dhapli and I was having something else which makes dancing sound. Khanjari means it creates beautiful sound. As an accompanist, I was there. So what would happen after 3 weeks of traveling, that we came back to Mount Abu camp, and he was leading dynamic meditation himself. He was giving discourses on Upanishads. Like the first camp that I attended was Nirvana Upanishad in Hindi. And each meditation camp, after 3 months or 6 months, was certain Upanishad. Upanishad simply means master-disciple coming together relationship. Upanishad is sitting in silence with the master. That was, but there were the transformation messages in brief, and Osho would explain or decode, like he has decoded Vigyan, Bhairav Tantra, or Shiv Sutra, or Patanjali Sutras. So sutras are a kind of a seed mantra, and only enlightened person can really give them definition, explanation of through his own experience, not through scriptures, but what he has realized. So I had the fortune of listening to discourses and also meditating in his presence in Mount Abu, Matheran, and some other places.
This
Yes.
These kirtans, they went on for some time?
Yes. Kirtan group continued for about 5 years, from 71 to 75 or 76. But in 75 or 76, there was a declaration of emergency in the country. Indira Gandhi dissolved the parliament and became a dictator that time. So there was no freedom of movement, no freedom of speech for maybe 1.5 years. Not more than 5 people could assemble anywhere. So all over the country. And everything that was going to be published in the newspapers or magazines had to be approved by the government for 1.5 years. So that time Kirtan group returned and joined the ashram in Pune. Osho by that time had started his ashram in 1974. The Kirtan group continued until 75. So 1 year later, the Kirtan group came. But before that, I had dropped out of Kirtan group to start Osho's magazine from North India. It was called Bliss, Anand. He had sent me 5 names to choose from: Anand, Bhavana, Sadhana, Chetna, Karuna. So I just chose Anand in the beginning. And that magazine I started with his blessings. Later, when we came to ashram, he made me the founding editor of Rajneesh Foundation newsletter, which was every 15 days, twice a month, we were publishing. And I was doing Hindi and some Western friend was doing English.
I have a question. How was doing dynamic guiding with Osho? How was it?
We were young people and we had tremendous energy, and all the young people had to be in the front because he did not want any lukewarm way of doing, the people who would not do in totality. So the people who could do with totality, they could be in the front, and people who were little slower, little old age or something, they could be in the back. So he was also continuously inspiring us with saying, do it, do it, do it fast, more fast. So when he's looking at you, how can you not do it? When he's watching you, when he's watching you, you would be totally, really total. And so we, of those days, we have the audios recorded, or we still use it for the new people to play in our meditation camp. So people get inspired by his voice, that he's continuously pushing them to bring total energy into meditation.
Wow, that's
and it
great.
was without the music. What was
No, we add the music together with his voice.
Wow.
Okay.
That time music was live music, because there was no Deuter, no recordings, no ready-made audio cassette or something. It all started in after 75 in the ashram, when everything got come together to make music for dynamic, Kundalini, Nataraj, Nada Brahma. But before that, it was just like some musicians will be invited and they would do according to the guidance of the Osho.
Wow. And it was like we used to do the 5 stages.
There were only 4 stages of that. Yeah, in the last stage, only lying down dead. And then after that, he would say, rub your third eye, center with your right hand palm, and then he would finish it.
Ah,
Wow.
He would say, simply express your gratitude to the divine that surrounds you.
mm,
Because we were transported to some other realm. Later on, when he was not directing, not facilitating dynamic himself, then the cassette had 5 stages of celebrating in the last stage.
okay.
Okay.
We are both lovers of dynamic meditation.
Yes.
Yes.
If we have this access to this recording, it would be just a bliss.
You can imagine this dynamic when we were demonstrating in our Kirtan group traveling around India, and we could demonstrate in front of public, and public would become scared. Oh, this we have to do. But only you demonstrate to 100 people, only 10 people will come and join you out of 100, because they thought it is mad. But everybody carries madness within himself, so it has to be expressed. So, but it worked. So courageous people could join us.
There is this joke saying in the Orange Book that if dogs watch us doing dynamic, they say, if I do that, they say I'm mad.
Yes.
Yes.
But now we have a new meaning from Osho about mad. Mad means, M means master, A means and, D means disciple. Master and disciple are mad.
Man, okay, perfect. Wonderful.
So, Chaitanya, I spoke person of the Osho Commune International, the founding editor of Osho Times International, and the editor of Osho's books. Could you tell us how was it for you to have such honorable and challenging jobs, and also the great responsibility of that?
It was a challenge when I was doing away from the commune. When I was not living in the commune, but I was living in North India or Bihar and publishing his magazine monthly, it was a big challenge. And Osho saw that I have done the challenging job, and now it is time that I come to ashram. So in the ashram, it became very easy. And he simply said, now you stop going to North India to publish your paper, you be here, and plus take one book to edit with the, like, first book that I was given to edit along with the fortnightly magazine was Shiva Sutra. And then more books on Kabir, on whatever he was talking on mystics that time. There was one more beautiful person senior to me who was doing it, was Ananda Maitreya. And Osho told me I can sit in his room in Laostu House and do it together. We didn't have office around that time because it was limited space, so many people living in 6 acres, 700 people living. So in Laostu House, I used to sit and edit mainly Rajneesh Foundation newsletter. And when I need to transcribe the discourses from the tapes, from the audio tapes, write down myself, it's called transcribing, and then editing. And I was not very much into typing it as writing beautifully with the hand, and straight it goes to the press for typesetting. So that was my job, to listen to his discourse, sentence by sentence, compare it, and send it to the media, send it to the publication printing house. And that's how these 7 years. And Osho wanted his books to come very fast because he didn't want us to be slow in that. He would give us deadline.
Wow.
Suppose the book has been given to us in January, then he would say on 21st March, this book has to come. How you do have to? Because on the celebration, this book have to be, sometimes I would miss the discourses and go to printing press instead. But that is joy. That was not a challenge. That was more of a joy that on his enlightenment day, what we can give him. And when the book is out, I send it to him inside to look at it. He would autograph to Keerti with love. Yeah, to Keerti with blessing. Additionally, he would sign some photograph of his, and on that photograph also he would write to Keerti with love.
Beautiful.
So that was joy, endless joy, abundant joy.
Wow.
What a story. How is your life as a disciple through all times? Like Pune 1, Rajneeshpuram, and Pune 2.
Living in the ashram in Pune was 7 years, in the Pune 1 we call. And in the month of May, the last day of May, he left for Rajneeshpuram. Not Rajneeshpuram, but America. Later on, he made Rajneeshpuram. The message that I got from him is that for the rest of the year, which is from June to December, I should go on publishing the paper without giving any information what he's doing, only just discourses. So keep in touch with them. So when I complete that job, then I can come to America after that. So what I did, I was in a hurry. So I did printing in advance. So by October, I finished the whole thing in 1981. So in my absence, people can dispatch it with each time this new date. This is the July 2nd issue. This is August. This is first and second issue of August. The same way it was ready-made, prepared in advance. By October, I had done that. In the month of October, I got my visa and went to Oregon. In Pune, they had the issues until December, they can dispatch in my absence. So there I was given this, houses were being set up for the new arrivals. So I was in that housing department. It was called trailer setup department because we were living in trailers. So the trailers are trailed there and they are fixed with the ground, and then you set it up for people to live. So I worked in that department for some time. Then Osho also sent the message that I should keep writing letters to Indians who are not here. They are behind in India and they must be missing me. So you keep them informed what is going on here. And so the whole progress, the whole growth of the Rajneeshpuram, I was informing for 1.5 years to the names that I had with me, the members of Rajneesh Times and Osho Times and whatever, any letters that would come, I would answer back and would be signed by Sheila, because I could write Hindi. There was nobody to write Hindi that time there, and there was no typing there also. So I would handwritten letter would be sent. So that kind of work I was doing in the beginning. And then after 1 year or so, my visa was in trouble. So I had to leave for some time and come back again. And this happened, leaving and coming back again happened. And this atmosphere was so intense around that time because things were moving very fast. The harassment by the American government and checking and investigations and this and that. And then finally one day Sheila leaving the place. So in 85, when he was about to come back to India, I also came back to India, maybe 2 weeks before him to India. when it really became clear that we have to leave. So 2 weeks before him, I arrived in India. And as we were waiting what we need to do, he left again for his 21 countries to world tour. Yeah, he left again. And after not finding any place to live in 21 countries, he came back to India again. And we were just, as we were waiting, I was doing this Rajneesh Times and again in the same job of publication books. And on January 4, 87, he came back to Pune again. But
that's all in this book, yeah?
yes. But during that period, I had to take care of both Hindi and English Rajneesh Times because Western people were not there in that particular period when he was traveling in 21 countries. So I had some people helping me, but it has to be my name on the paper as editor, because if there is any trouble, tourist person or somebody cannot be responsible for that. So I had to play the role of editor for both Hindi and English for a while. But this continued 87, 88, 90, and until the year 2000, I was there in Pune.
Pune 2 and Pune 3.
Yes.
I have a special question. How did it feel for you when Osho left his body? Do you feel your responsibility is greater now since then?
The very first evening when Osho left the body on 19 January 90, at about 5 o'clock, I was given this information by Osho's secretary, Ma Yoga Neelam. And then Satya Vedant also came out of his inner circle meeting and told me, Keerti, inform the media that Osho has left the body. It was too much for me to inform the media. Press had become very friendly with me. So to give this kind of press release, it was with a heavy heart. But what I did, I informed the editor of Indian Express, who was my friend. And when I informed him, I started crying. Just informing and crying at the same time. I said, now you flash the news to the whole world. I'm not in a state to say more. He did that. Within half an hour, the whole world was calling. And all the phones were directed to me because now everybody was busy preparing for the evening satsang, and his body would be brought in Buddha Hall, and all phone lines came into one phone line. So whosoever had to call from all over the world, anywhere for information, my phone was ringing only. So I got glued to the phone. I could not go inside the Buddha Hall to see him, to be near him in that particular moment when his body is being brought in Buddha Hall. It was like too many press people arriving at the main gate to deal with them. And there was nobody else except me. So until 3 in the morning, I kept sitting, answering the world media, what has happened. So after 3 o'clock in the morning, I went to my bed and deeply I cried, wept, and then I fell asleep for a moment or two. And then again the phones were ringing, some sannyasin calling from USA or somewhere. I remember Satya Vedant's wife calling because there was no other phone call working in the ashram except my phone call. So again I got up and continued. As Osho had given his guidelines to everybody that work must continue and sannyasins continue, the message had come that how his presence would be there and felt even more deeply than before. Even now, remembering that moment, I feel his presence, that kind of energy is coming. So his work was always a meditation. Before and after, I don't divide that. It was in continuity. Then press would write all kinds of stories that he has been killed or he has been this or that. And I would be responding to media. And Osho had given me enough clarity and guidelines how to deal with the media. When he had given me the job of press spokesperson, he had given me 2-line message. One, that each article being written about him, I must respond. And when they write negative, I should not freak out. I should simply answer point by point. And second point, when they publish it, I should send thanks to them. And my work will be done. This is the guideline he gave. Do not freak out when they write negative against me, because you can answer each point. They can be forgiven because they don't live with me. You are living with me. You know how life is with me and what is happening here. You are witness to it. So answer each point without freaking out. And when they publish it, be thankful to them. So that I had started doing in his lifetime, and later on continued, and media became very, very friendly to me. Till today, they are all very, very friendly to me. Earlier, I used to approach them. Now they approach me whenever there is something to publish. Like Osho told me, on each occasion, suppose today is Buddha's day, his article on Buddha should go to newspapers. It is Krishna's day, it is Nanak's day, or any other mystic, or any topic that he has been talking about. When that is being discussed in the world, we should be also contributing the same, on same topic to the media. And this we were doing it when I had a whole staff of people also with me doing it. But they had to go through me, that so there's no repetition. I write a letter to editor and the same person, other person writes the same letter to the editor, then it would be repetitive. So it has to be coming from one person. So this way he was guiding gradually to deal with the media. So that was great help, great guidance basically. This really worked with the media and they became very friendly. And India, you don't get so much negativity anymore about Osho. The West is still living 40 years before Sheila's time, 50 years. Long ago, the controversies, the Rolls Royce, the sex guru, the this and that garbage, they keep writing. But Indian media has totally changed. Indian media is now for Osho, not against Osho. And this is very important. If in his home country, media changes, the rest of the world is going to change sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth has to come out, yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Wow.
So intense. Wow.
Wow, this is a lot for us.
Yeah. It's a really, really delightful job. It's never burdensome. Even if one has to sit, instead of 12 hours, one has to sit 16 hours or 18 hours, doesn't matter. You can go into timelessness talking about him.
Yeah.
But after leaving Pune in the year 2000, I had to be also do something else along with this media work, which is facilitating meditation camps. So in last 20 years, I have been also additionally not editing his books, but sharing whatever I have got from Osho through facilitation of meditation camps. I have been coming to USA, Canada, Europe, Malaysia, Iran, and a few other countries.
Wow. Oh, so beautiful.
Wow, one day you may come to Brazil also. Yeah.
That would be really delightful. The other end, but I have so much feeling affinity with Brazilians. It feels for them life is a carnival of joy, carnival of a colorful carnival.
We go very much into Zorbas. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That part is the great welcome for meditation.
Yes. So we need more India here.
Yeah.
More Buddha.
More Buddha, yeah. We want you to talk about the books you wrote on Osho.
The first book when I came out of Pune was Allah to Zen, which is a compilation of various people from various countries that they went through around Osho. Like the name Allah to Zen means from A to Z, or from all continents, from all like India, Japan, France, Italy, these kinds of people from various countries. So they contributed to that book and I compiled it. And that was the first book with this name, Allah to Zen. The believers of Allah and practitioners of Zen all come together under one roof and the Osho disciples, and like that kind of feeling. So I wrote that book. And Nivedano had written something for that book also. So then I started writing a regular column in national newspapers. So I compiled the book and gave a name, In Romance with Life, The Osho Way in Romance with Life. Then came Osho Fragrance, also compilation of articles that people had read in various newspapers. So these articles are not lost. So I kept compiling them. And then next was The Alchemy of Zen. After that was Mindfulness, the Master Key, which is the bestseller out of all the five. And recently, in this year, month of May, I brought out another book called Osho, A Mystic of Love. And now I'm writing one Hindi book also, because people have been asking me, you are writing in English, why don't you write in Hindi for Hindi readers? So one book is in process, maybe in a month or two, it will be complete.
Wow. How can we find your books?
On Amazon, all the books, even in Polish language and also in Russian language, and the Alchemy of Zen is also probably in Polish language.
Wow.
Wow. Could you say, how do you see Osho's work today? Do you have a message for newcomers?
Yes, Osho's work has gone into some kind of chaos also. But I don't feel depressed about it. This phase we have to pass through it. Because on one end, there are megalomaniacs of controlling, monopolizing Osho's work. And another end is people asking for more. Because when you read Osho, when you listen to Osho, you really want to get everything right away, as I did when I started listening to Osho in the 70s. So this has been a kind of struggle between rebellious disciples and the establishment. So sooner or later, Osho would be free from all shackles of this control. What I did not like was this, that before 95 or 96 or 97, I could take Osho's video to TV channels and telecast them without any commercial understanding. But when this came into existence, the Osho International Foundation based in Zurich, then this was stopped, that everybody has to ask them. But this way, India suffered because nobody from India went to them. Like I was going to the media to supply them before. But when Zurich started this business, they did not approach any Indian channels themselves. So in last over 30 years, we have not seen on national TV Osho. While all other gurus, you call Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, or who are not enlightened, all other gurus have filled the space, Jaggi Vasudeva, and so many other Sadguru. You see them daily on television. But Osho is only given selectively on YouTube here and there, but not when India asked for more, they controlled and kept in the lock in Zurich monopoly. So this was too much for me. So I said, I would go out and do whatever possible. Otherwise, million times more people would have come. And somehow it seems to me they did not want Indians to come to, more Indians to come to ashram. When they closed down the Osho Times magazine, somebody asked me from the management team, now you closed down this Osho Times. I said, why? This is because reading your magazine everywhere, so many people are coming. I say, it's a good news or bad news? Like, if it is selling 65,000 copies every month, is it a bad news or good news? He says, no, but we end up with so many people we don't want if they read magazines and all that stuff. So that was the difference that we had. They did not want too many Indians coming to the ashram. So ashram became now what you see after the COVID. On daily routine, you just see 10, 20, 30 people in such a big place. And even smaller centers in rest of the country, India, Oshodham, Delhi, and other small centers have 2 times, 3 times more people than them. And this is the largest commune, the headquarter, Osho's headquarter, where he himself lived, and his samadhi is there, everything so beautiful is there. There, it is so strange to see that only people come and report to me, I was there last weekend, only 20 people were there. When it used to be any given time, 2,000 people were coming before 2000. Any given time, you could count the people, 2,000, 3,000, hall was full. And after we left, their policies changed so much and became so expensive to have entry pass. They kept increasing the price and people started decreasing to come. But then came COVID, and after that, it went even more down. So all I say that they should return to that kirtan, return to that singing, return their celebration, so that people want to come, let them come. Because when it becomes dry, no juice, nobody comes.
Mm-hmm.
They don't come to just being instructed, okay, do this dynamic this way and that's it. So it's like dry, very dry. They have to be welcoming and accommodating. Otherwise, what do you do with such a big space? It's empty. the ghosts start living there. Empty place. What would you do with that? You won't even want to clean it. That's why today, if you look at swimming pool, it's all full of garbage. The dry leaves, etc., is just twice there and like that. Really sorry state of affairs, but they don't want to change because the idea is to sell it off. So that's where we differ. If they open up, the whole India would rejoice, and with India rejoicing, the whole world will come, because who wants to come to a place which is very serious, very dull, very boring? In Osho's place, East, West were merging, melting, and coming together and dancing together. Bring that spirit again. Only then it will work. If rest of the places, centers are, you see pictures of our meditation camps, people are dancing, rejoicing anywhere in India. Anywhere. And I go out of India, England, America, Canada, and there too it is happening. Why the headquarters is lacking all that? So they need to just change themselves first.
Yeah. Luckily, Osho taught us to be rebels, yes? And
yes.
That's the great news. They can't hold water with their hands.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
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 And the big
And
Osho's
Osho,
energy.
Osho's energy is so big,
Yeah.
so huge.
One friendly journalist wrote, "You cannot control the oceanic breeze in a net."
Yes.
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 Great,
Perfect.
great. Last question. Could you tell us a little about Osho World Foundation?
Yeah, Osho World Foundation, yes. Osho World came into existence when I left Pune in the year 2000. I had come to attend World Book Fair in Delhi. Every 2 years, there used to be International Book Fair in Delhi, every 2 years. So in the year 2000, it was in January, February, around 7 days, 9 days. The whole world participates in the book fair in Delhi, different countries also. So I had told our management in Pune that I will go with one-way ticket and I will not come back. So they thought I'm joking, but I meant it. So I came to Delhi and there participated in the World Book Fair, sold books. A lot of books were selling like 1 million rupees or something, every book fair. Then we got the idea to open Osho World in Delhi. First mall in Delhi, it was called Ansal Plaza. So we got a good showroom, presentable, in a beautiful marketplace. The first glorious plaza had a Osho World gallery. And there we had Osho's books and information center and everything. It was inaugurated by the law minister of the country, who was Osho's lawyer also, but he became the law minister also. So he inaugurated that. Ma Anando and some others also came on that occasion. They saw it. They were happy that, oh, Delhi has beautiful place, good address for Osho. So every VIP, elite people could come there. But what happened after that, we turned it into Osho World Foundation. And we gave the name oshoworld.com on the web. And soon after, in a month or two, when they came to know in Pune that we have opened oshoworld.com, they sent us the legal notice from America. You cannot have the name oshoworld.com because it is our trademark and copyright. How could we work if we don't have a website to invite people to the rest of the world? So we thought, since they have not approached us, they have simply sent the legal notice, we will answer it. We will. If they had come and discussed, okay, Keerti, don't open this, don't do that, la la, we would have thought differently. But they simply said the legal notice from USA, and we responded and we won the case. And what we are doing in the oshoworld.com, putting all Osho discourses, uploading all Osho discourses, the text form, audio form, video form, whatever, everything, and informing the world about our activities in Delhi. Delhi is the capital of the country, so it has to have a good center there. So this they could not digest in Pune. So they had another court case with us, which actually we started because they had mentioned in the previous court case that dynamic, Natraj, Kundalini, Nadabram, these meditations are also their trademark. Nobody can do it without their permission. So we challenged that in USA. It took us 7-8 years and they got defeated.
Great.
And both the two cases are on our OshoFriendsInternational.com website. We call it OshoFriendsInternational.com, and all the history of the cases is mentioned in that website. So both the websites are working because they could not be able to remove us from there. Next year, 2001, I started Hindi magazine Osho World as editor, and the Prime Minister of the country had inauguration, the launch.
Wow.
So
Wow.
how could they challenge that?
That's great. That's great.
So since then, this has been going on for last 21 years, this magazine also. But for last 2-3 years, it was only online edition, ebook. But this month again, we have started the print edition.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna have a
Don't
good
stop.
You know, Chaitanya, they came, we are very small, yeah, in our work, but they came after us also.
Batayana.
Yeah, they came after us. And we'll say we are just storytellers. You have nothing to do with us.
We are not the problem. We are the solution.
Yes. Like Osho would say to each of his sannyasin, when they were returning home, he would say, go and help my people. He would say, my people, who have not even taken sannyas yet. He would say, when you go back to your country, go and help my people. His people will still need to be looked, searched, and shared something with them. So here, being in Delhi, when we opened OshoWorld.com, we could share Osho, anybody on earth, anywhere. They could download all discourses free. And people did download discourses free, and further they circulated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's Osho's way. Osho way.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
So in a way, being scattered or being in chaos has also helped his work. Anything, even negative, or if you create hindrance, obstruction, or challenge, Osho's work multiplies. Like they say, they created this wild
Netflix documentary. Yes.
Yeah, wild. So that also worked in Osho's favor. Because which Osho International Foundation could not do, made it dull and boring. Something negative came, and again interest awakened, aroused in people in hundreds of countries.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. So
Pede uma palavra final para ele do Osho.
Okay. She's asking me to ask you to say one word about Osho as we end this interview.
When I came to Delhi, I also started one more website, which was, in case I don't get OshoWorld.com with the name Osho, in case we are defeated, I started one website which was called Meditate Celebrate. 2 words. MeditateCelebrate.com.
Oh, great.
Which was giving all the news, what's going on. So I would, since then, these 2 words have been the key words for me that I share with people. Meditate, celebrate. Celebration is always follows meditation.
Oh, what I'm gonna say, we were very happy just to get your acceptance. Now I just feel blissed out. So,
Yes.
so
Too.
thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your time with us, your wisdom with us,
Your
and also
story.
thank you for doing such great job
Yes.
for Osho.
On certain specific issues, we would meet again. But
Yes,
this was overall picture in brief. But whenever there is a certain one-dimensional theme that we can talk about, I would be happy and
yes.
delighted.
Oh, we
Yes.
too.
Me too.
We come back to you, okay?
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Chaitanya.
Thank you. Osho!
Osho!
Osho! Osho! Viram? Alguém mandou lembranças para ele?
Before we turn off, yesterday I was talking to Punya that
Yes.
holds the Osho news. She sends hello to you, okay?
Yes. I wrote to her today and she published something which I sent to her.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Tchau.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.